Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And folks, this is an exciting time. It is an exciting time indeed, because our beloved New Jersey Devils returned to the Rock last night, fresh off a beautiful win over the Minnesota Wild, which gave them a 6-game winning streak, hosting the San Jose Sharks, looking to push it to 7. And our beloved New Jersey Devils did just that, defeating the San Jose Sharks by a score of 3-1. The winning streak is currently at 7. And guys, there is so much to be excited about, so much to talk about. But wow, 7 games in a row. 7 wins in a row for this club after starting off not so hot in Raleigh on opening night. The boys were in the game late. They were in a position to steal a point or potentially steal the game. It all fell apart in the end. The Hurricanes won, and lots of people, the doomers and the negative Nancy's, came out of the woodwork and were like, this is the same Devils team. And the normal nonsense you hear from all these people that just can't wait to bash a team, both Devils fans and fans of other teams. I wasn't too worried. I thought the team would respond. Carolina has historically had our number. I didn't put too much stock into the loss. Obviously wasn't happy with it, but I knew the boys would be back. I never knew they would be back to this level, ripping off 7 consecutive victories and are currently numero uno in the entire National Hockey League. That is right, my friends. Our beloved New Jersey Devils are currently sitting in the number 1 spot in the entire league. Let that soak in, kids. What a start it has been for this club. And everyone was worried about the Sharks game. The Sharks have given us problems over the last couple of seasons. Despite being a quote-unquote bottom feeder in the league, they've given the Devils problems, and it's been unfortunate. But that was not the case last night. Devils hosting the Sharks. We get to the game. First period, unfortunate early penalty against Nico, and he dropped his stick, and I knew right away. And he knew, too. He was like, oh, boy, yep. Sure enough, gets called for the penalty, as everyone expected. And unfortunately, off of a little snafu by Jackhughes, Eklund gets the puck and buries it at 2:25, gives the Sharks the 1-0 lead, and puts an unfortunate end to the 21 consecutive kills for the Devils PK unit. And all good things come to an end. Unfortunately, the penalty kill streak came to an end last night, but the win streak did not. The win streak stayed intact, but Sharks have a 1-0 lead after 1. We go to the second. Devils on the power play. Dougie Hamilton. Oh, Dougie Hamilton. Many of you know I have defended this man. I'll circle back on that in a moment. But Dougie Hamilton gets his second of the season on the power play at 40 seconds on that beautiful fresh sheet of ice. Sharks took a penalty late in the first, and so the Devils had a little bit of a power play at the end of the first, and then it carried over to the second. And on that fresh sheet at 40 seconds, Dougie gets his second of the season, assisted by Dawson Mercer and Nico Hischier to tie the game at 1. And I was at the game, as many of you know. I was at the game after Dougie tied it. There was felt like a little bit of a relief, because had the Sharks gotten the next goal and taken the 2-0 lead, then I would have started sweating a little bit. Dougie keeps the perspiration levels down for your boy, ties it up at 1, and then I was like, all right, now we're going to take this thing over. Now we're going to take it over. And about 8 minutes and change later at 9:08, Devils on the power play again. Dougie strikes again for his second of the game, third of the season. And what can we say about our boy Dougie, folks? Dougie Hamilton getting it done on the power play from Jackhughes and Nico Hischier gives the Devils the 2-1 lead, and that is how the second period would end. And after 2, I was like, all right, buckle down. Askarov in net for the Sharks made a ton of great saves throughout the game. Another one of those nights where many people thought we were going to get goalied, but it was not in the cards for the Sharks. Despite the many great saves he made, it was not enough, and the Devils just overwhelmed them. But 2-1 after 2, a second period which the Sharks were held shotless. Let's talk about domination. Despite being on the power play, multiple times, that still leaves a good chunk of even strength minutes, and the Sharks could not generate a shot. Not a single shot on goal for the Sharks in the second period. That is phenomenal stuff. And this team is special, guys. They're flying back on their back checks. They're blocking shots. They're doing all the little things to win. Dougie diving out on the power play to keep the puck in. I mean, this team wants it. It shows during the games. And the results are showing it. A 7-game heater right now. It is a beautiful time. But Devils up 2-1 after one, looking to close it out in the third. And Sharks had a couple nice chances in the third. Devils had some as well. But in the end, the stage was set for the dramatic 2-1 game late in the third. Sharks pull the goalie for the extra attacker. And Dougie Hamilton gets the puck to Connor Brown. And Connor Brown is off to the races. No one between him and the empty net. And he just deposits that in ever so softly for his 4th of the season, assisted by Dougie Hamilton and Nico Hischier, sealing the game for the Devils 3-1. The Rock faithful go insane. And that's all she wrote, folks. Sharks go down. There was no back-to-back wins in the cards for the Sharks. They beat the Rangers the night before, but they were not going to beat our Devils. And they take another loss on the year. The Devils are now on a 7-game heater and are the best team in the NHL. Guys, I've been telling you, it is super hard for me to contain my excitement right now. Super hard. There is nothing to complain about right now. Absolutely nothing. Everything is glorious. The penalty kill overall is amazing. The power play is amazing. The goaltending has been amazing. I mean, yeah, we'd like to see the Devils maybe capitalize on some more of their chances, but they've been doing a pretty good job of scoring goals for the most part and converting on their chances, and the record reflects it. 7-1 after 8, a 7-game win streak. We just take a little look at the points on the season through the 8 games played. Our boy Jesper Bratt sitting atop the team with 11 points through 8 games played, followed up by Jack Hughes with 10 points in the 8 games played. The captain, Nico Hischier, 9 points in the 8 games. And who's number 4 on the list? Oh, Dawson Mercer, my friends. 8 points in 8 games for Dawson Mercer. A lot of people have been talking about Mercer over the past couple years. After his amazing 22-23 season, I do think many fans had unrealistic expectations for him going forward. And it is what it is. He had 50-some-odd points in that 22-23 season, and I think people just expected him to keep going up from there. And that was an unrealistic expectation, in my opinion. Not very realistic at all. But Dawson Mercer is a dog. The dog himself. You need guys like him to win a cup. You could put him out there anytime, any place. Penalty kill, power play, late in games to protect the lead. You got to love the dog. And he has taken that top 6 role, or at least at the beginning of the year, and relished in it, playing with Nico and Timo. And now, with the injury to Cody Glass, he's been forced to slot down into the third-line center role, and he's looked pretty decent there as well. I mean, the team has not skipped a beat. What a glorious thing that depth is. We've talked about this time and time again. Last season, the depth was non-existent. The bottom 6 was a black hole. Throughout the year, we cycled different guys through, gave them a game or two as a look. No one really took the opportunity and ran with it. And in the end, it's because a lot of the guys we were trying out were, no knock to them. They were career AHLers that did not, seize the moment and become NHL talents. I mean, it's somewhat of an unrealistic expectation, but it is what it is. We were decimated with injuries. We didn't have a lot of guys to pull, and we suffered. And the bottom 6 was a really sore spot for the club. That is not this year, guys. This team is complete from top to bottom. We are getting contributions from everywhere. Top line, second line, third line, fourth line. They are all contributing in their own ways. You love to see it, and this is just a more veteran, more seasoned group, and they look hungrier, guys. They look hungrier. The vibe around the team is very businesslike. They seem very serious. And it looks like they're on a mission. It really does. And ripping off 7 in a row against the teams they have done it against is no small feat. I will not let some of you people detract from the wins. Beating any 7 teams in a row is a feat in this league. It really is. The parity in this league is amazing, and to win 7 consecutive games certainly says something. And I would say up until this Sharks game, most of the wins were fairly convincing. And I mean, even the end, 3-1 is a fairly convincing score. There was some scary moments of the game, and it was a close game for a lot of it. But in the end, good teams and great teams find ways to win even when they're not playing at their best. And that game last night certainly was not the best from the New Jersey Devils, but they found a way to dig deep and find a way to win even when they were not playing to their full potential. And that's what you got to do. You're not going to have it every single night. And they didn't play terrible. They didn't play terrible at all. But they did not play up to the level that we had seen in some of the earlier games this season. They didn't. But they found a way to win. Got the big saves from Allen when it mattered. Converted on the power play chances, and that's all she wrote. The Devils win a beautiful one, but the dog, you gotta show some respect. A point per game player through 8 games played, 8 points. Timo Meier has 7 points in the 8 games played, and followed up in the number 6 spot by Connor Brown, 5 points in 8 games played. And this has been a phenomenal offseason addition. I expected him to improve the bottom 6, but not to this level. Also with 5 points on the season is Arseny Gritsuk. 1 goal and 4 assists for 5 points. And the two of these guys are the biggest reason that the bottom 6 revamp has looked so beautiful. It really is. That third line when they were together, again, pre-Glass injury, Gritsuk and Brown were on a line together with Glass, and they looked great. Glass gets injured. Mercer slides down to 3C. Gritsuk goes up with Nico and Timo, and the team doesn't really skip a beat. And it's beautiful to see. It's because of the depth that we finally have that Keefe could switch it up a little bit and keep on ticking. You'd love to see it. The depth is everywhere. Obviously, the weakest position for the Devils at the moment is center, but everywhere else we're loaded. We have tons of wingers. We have 3 NHL caliber goalies now, in my opinion. Tons of defensemen, and injuries happen in this game. It seems like they happen way more often with the Devils, unfortunately, and to their players. But with the depth we have now, it's like next man up. That's the philosophy. Next man up. Someone goes down. We have someone waiting in the wings to fill that spot, give us some hard minutes, and so far, so good. What else can you want, guys? We are on a 7-game heater, and like I've been saying in lives and in previous videos, we are witnessing the turnaround of this franchise right now. It is right here, right now, happening before your eyes. Embrace it. Do not let any of the negativity or the outside noise, do not let it rain on your parade. This New Jersey Devils club is for real. And I'm going to say it now. I am all in on this team. I am a firm believer. This is a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. Period. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the cup, but they are a legit contender. We are going to be in contention to win the division down the stretch. I firmly believe that. I do think it'll be a tight race down the stretch between us and the dreaded Carolina Hurricanes. We'll see how that shakes out. But in the end, they just got to make the playoffs and go on a run. Now, obviously, tons of people are like, oh, I want to see them beat the Hurricanes. Like, okay, that's a futures problem. Let's enjoy the moment for now. We don't play the Canes again until January. Hopefully, Coach Keefe and the rest of his coaching staff between now and then will come up with the appropriate game plan and whatever else they have to do to figure out how to neutralize and take down the Hurricanes. But that's a futures problem. And for now, this New Jersey Devils club is going to give mass difficulty to whoever they're playing. Mass difficulty. And you have to just enjoy the moment, guys. This is the ride. This is the turnaround. This is what I thought the 22-23 season was when we set a franchise record with 112 points during the regular season before beating the New York Rangers in a glorious 7-game series in the first round. That I thought was the turnaround. Obviously, we had some hiccups and some things in the 2 seasons after, and we kind of stalled out. But this team is not those teams. Oh, no. This is the true turnaround of the franchise. And dare I say, from this point forward, this group, this New Jersey Devils club, with the core in place right now, is going to be a legit contender for the next 4 to 5 years. And it's happening right before our eyes. Embrace it. Reach out with 2 hands and grab it and pull it into you. Because it's happening, guys. This is the moment we've been waiting for, and it's happening right now. Get fired up, get excited, and more importantly, get your tickets for the Sunday matinee afternoon game against the number 2 team in the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche. My friends, the New Jersey Devils need you in attendance. They need you to be rowdy. I'm going to keep preaching this all season long. We need to make The Rock a rowdy atmosphere for the opposition. We want teams to feel the home ice advantage for the Devils at the Rock, and that's our duty. That's all we could do to help this team win. There's nothing else we could do, guys. You're not going to suit up for right wing. I'm not going to be the starting goalie. Your buddy Johnny's not going to play defense. None of that is on the table. We have no impact on the performance of this team. But we could help out a little bit. And the part how we help out is getting our tickets, going to the Rock, and getting loud and crazy. Let the boys feel the love, let them feel the support and energy, and let the opposition feel the intensity. And this is something I do think as a fan base we need to work on a little bit. And I know that, early season games don't get everyone as fired up as the March and April games, but I think that's something we need to work on changing as a culture, of the fan base. We need the building to be rocking every single night from home opener to the playoffs and throughout the playoffs. If you just look at the Canes, I hate to give them credit for this, but their arena is a zoo. Their fans are nuts. And in a recent poll to NHL players, when they were asked what the most difficult building to play in was, they all, an overwhelming majority of them said Carolina. You got to tip your cap. They know how to get rowdy. We need to raise our game. Buy your tickets for Sunday. Get your behind to the rock and get loud and get excited and let the boys feel it because they need our support. They're playing a lethal Avalanche team who's currently number 2 in the league, and that's going to be one for the ages. A Sunday matinee. As I've said again in previous videos, I have never been this fired up for October hockey in my entire life because I feel like we are witnessing and experiencing and living through a renaissance of New Jersey Devils hockey. That it is happening right now. Embrace it, enjoy it. It's unbelievable. And I've told you guys, after these games, I can't go to bed. I can't go to sleep. I have so much adrenaline pumping through my veins that I'm going to need to be prescribed elephant tranquilizers to put me down. After these games, I am flying high. I'm rewatching parts of the game. I'm watching all the interviews. I'm watching all the stuff afterwards. It's phenomenal. I'm looking online to see what, the national media is kind of saying about the Devils. And I think the league is officially on notice, guys. We are on a 7-game heater. Lots of, hockey pundits and media talking heads and all these things. So the past couple years, a lot of them have been high on the Devils. A lot of people have picked the Devils to go on deep runs. A couple people have picked the Devils to win the Cup. Most recently, John Tortorella picked the New Jersey Devils to win the Cup this season. He picked us to win the Cup this season, and he will look like a prophet if that happens. He was the only one on the whole panel. I think it was ESPN or whatever. I think there's about 30 people they had polled, and Torts was the only one that picked the Devils. He's going to look like a genius if they can make that happen. But a long way to go from there. Again, it is only 8 games. Yes, I'm not trying to get too carried away and too crazy, but in the end, a 7-game heater is a 7-game heater, and the way the team has done it and how they've looked and the contributions from throughout the lineup is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous set of 7 games. And then when we talk about depth, kind of in conjunction with the depth, the past 3 games, the game-winning goals have been by defensemen. Brendan Dillon scored the previous 2 game-winning goals coming into the Sharks game, and then Dougie gets it. I mean, let's hear it for the D-Corps. 3 game-winning goals in a row. That is phenomenal. I didn't get a chance to look it up, but I'd imagine that never happened last year. There's no way that a Devils defenseman scored game-winning goals 3 games in a row. There's just no way. And I will circle back in a future video about when the last time that happened was. I'm going to have to do some deep dives. Maybe the old artificial intelligence could assist me in that research because that's not going to be an easy one. But what a phenomenal team. What a ride. And like I said, guys, really embrace this ride. It is just, it's beautiful. It's something I've been waiting for years as a longtime fan who lived through the glory years. I know many of you are tired of hearing about it. I will never stop talking about it. As long as I have breath, I will be talking about the glory days of the New Jersey Devils intermittently, or sometimes pretty often. And I will say, I am getting those eerily similar feelings to the way I felt about some of those Devils Cup teams. I really am. Now, obviously, those teams had all-time greats, and it was a different league and a different time, and the gameplay was different. All those things are true. But in the end, the one thing that is very similar is the makeup of the club, and this is what I talk about a lot as well. It's a nice mix of veterans, and we brought in more veterans this year. Obviously, Dodonov, who's injured right now, but veteran with some great experience. Connor Brown with tons of experience. And then my boy Luke Glendening. I never want to forget Luke Glendening because he kind of gets, lost in the sauce, if you will, with all the big names and everything. Guy comes in on a PTO, 36 years old, comes in on a PTO, busts his ass in training camp in preseason, and then with maybe a little bit of luck with injuries to other guys, lands a contract with the Devils, and here he is, playing his butt off as 4C, taking big faceoffs, killing penalties, mucking it up in the corners. You love to see it. Just a consummate pro, a veteran, and another great piece that was added, and brings in some more experience and leadership. And so now we have the veterans that just came in this offseason with the veterans that were already here, like the guys like Dilly, Stefan Nason, obviously Markey, Pesci, and then the bunch of guys that are in their prime or close to it. the Timos, the Bradders, the Nicos, the jackhughes of the world. He's kind of an in-between, vet and young guy, but he's pretty much a vet now too. And so we have veterans, we have a nice mix of guys in or near their prime, and then we have a little bit of a youth infusion with, the Luke Hughes and Arseny Gritsuk. I mean, what a pleasant surprise in Arseny Gritsuk, right? I mean, this kid can play up and down the lineup, has skill for days, and he just looks like a force. He's been phenomenal. He really has, and he's been a main reason for this turnaround as well. But this is what happens when you get 4 lines that can produce and eat minutes. You could roll all 4 lines, and this team is humming. It's a well-oiled machine. Guys, just embrace it. It's not too good to be true. It's not fool's gold. I know many of you are going to be like, oh, come talk to me after 20 games, 30 games. Don't keep moving the goalposts. For those of you that are pessimistic still, in the comments, put how many games, through how many games do you need to see this team being good before you give up and say, all right, this Devils team is legit. Some of you are going to say 20 games. Some are going to say 30. And then some of you, when the Devils are still good at that point, whatever you specify, when the Devils are still good at that point, then you're going to move the goalposts and be like, well, let's see where they're at 60 games. Then it's going to be, let's see them do it in the playoffs. And so, listen, I'm not saying anything more about the future. All I'm saying is, for the right now, in the moment, this team is amazing. They need our support, and I am flying high as the boys are. As the boys are. What a phenomenal time. I'd like to give special thanks to the New Jersey Devils organization for having me as a credentialed member of the media for the past few games. It's been a very fun experience to kind of see the inner workings of the media and how the press conferences work and the locker room interviews. Very cool. I've been a little kind of low-key in these settings for the first couple games, but I got a little active last night. Got a little active and was able to ask Nico, Hischier, Dougie Hamilton questions in the locker room, and then I was able to ask Sheldon Keefe a question at his post-game availability. First, let's take a look at my question to the captain, Nico Hischier.
Holding that group shot list in the second period, what does that really say? With some really skilled guys, what does that say about the will to win for this team?
Gotta say we did play a lot in the power play in the second period, but we obviously did an unbelievable job. We didn't give them much, and we knew if we play our game, stay above, they're not going to get much. We did exactly that, what we wanted to do in the second, and that was the result.
What do you like most about this team right now?
Playing as a team. I think every line is doing their job, and everybody accepts their role, and that's great to see.
And then it was time for the star of the game to talk to the media. Dougie Hamilton with 2 goals on the evening, both on the power play, including the game winner. And I got my question in for Dougie.
Third straight game with the defenseman game-winning goal. Did you feel the pressure from Dilly coming for your power play spot?
He can have it if he wants.
Thanks, Dougie.
And then finally, attending head coach Sheldon Keefe's post-game press conference, I had a question for him, and here it is.
Coach, you talked about looking to improve certain areas of the game for the team and how they still have a little bit to go before you think they're at their optimal level of play. I mean, how much better can this team get, and what areas do you think can be improved to bring it to what you would call a very happy state for you?
Yeah, I think aside from special teams, perhaps, because I think we've been very, very strong on both sides, power play and penalty kill there. I think our 5-on-5 game, offensively and defensively, in all regards, can get better. Our execution can get better. We can generate more on offense. Like I just referenced, like that. You have 2 breakaways today. Guys getting behind us, like little things like that. Where they're going to happen periodically. The best teams, the best defensive teams in the league, they give up chances. It happens, but those are the kind of details that we're not going to let slip. We're going to talk about them. We're not going to just brush them under the rug. We've got to get better in those types of areas. But just our overall execution and just our habits and details. Shift to shift, line to line, game to game. Just the consistency of it. We're going to continue to stay on top of that.
Thank you, Sheldon.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
I am a Sheldon Keefe fan. I have liked him pretty much since the beginning when he got here. I do think the team and Sheldon himself are more comfortable with each other in his second year on the job. And a lot of the guys have talked about how they're more familiar with his kind of systems, the way he likes to run practice, his kind of routines on game day, his expectations, the way he wants them to perform drills. And so over time, obviously, the comfort level between the team and the coach after year one is much better, and they kind of know what is expected of them. And Sheldon Keefe, by all accounts, is a perfectionist. He is striving for perfection. He wants everything to be mint and crispy. And he is very detail-oriented from, talking to him and hearing the things that he said. Very detail-oriented. And he's finding holes in this Devils team game amidst the 7-game win streak. Yeah, the team's winning, but he's still looking for things for them to get better at, and you love to hear it. Total perfectionist. He's going to keep pushing this group to get the best results out of them. And we haven't even hit optimal performance level for this Devils club yet. I mean, the best is still yet to come. It's unbelievable, and we still have tons of guys injured. I mean, that's another thing I was thinking about. I was talking with a couple of my Devil buddy friends earlier in the day before the game, and I was like, with all these injuries, I'm like, I don't even know what the ideal lineup looks like in a hypothetical situation where there are no injuries, right? If there was a world where there is no injuries, what is the lineup? I mean, there's so many options. I mean, I did like McEwen. He only played one game. I thought he was going to be a nice energy piece for the fourth line. And he suffers some injury during the game that we don't even know about until I think the next day. And I think it just came out that he has like a separated shoulder and he's going to miss a bunch of time. It's unfortunate. I thought he was a great find for the fourth line. Came over from Ottawa in the Curtis McDermott trade. And I thought he was going to bring that sandpaper size with some skating ability and some nastiness to the fourth line. He looked really good in his first game, and then he gets hurt, and who knows when we'll see him again. And then you plug in Hallinan. I love Hallinan's game. I mean, that overhand right at the end of the Toronto game, what a shot. What a shot, and a punctuation on a beautiful victory in Toronto. I'll never forget that moment. I did say after the game, I do believe, I'm calling it the punctuation of the victory over Toronto. I think that has a real chance when the regular season is all said and done. That Hallinan overhand bomb has a chance to be a top 10 regular season moment. And it's not just that, like I said, I'm calling it the punctuation of the win. So I'm including the Jack Hughes hat trick on the empty net as kind of part of that. So it's like that whole sequence. It's like Jack seals the game with the hat trick on the empty net. Ensuing face-off, Toronto gets a little froggy, and Hallinan just puts Benoit down with the just overhand right and buckles him. What a beautiful shot. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Hallinan's got all of that. But we'll see. I mean, there's so many options. So many options when this team is fully healthy. And like Fitzy always says, we've created competition. There is competition everywhere. Competition everywhere. Jacob Markstrom should be returning soon. He was at morning skate with the team ahead of the Sharks game. They didn't really give a definitive timeline as to when he would be returning, but I'd imagine he will be starting. If he doesn't play on the West Coast trip, I'd imagine he'd play, one of the first couple games when they come back. And so Marky's probably pretty close. Excited to see what he could do. Obviously, he got off to a slightly slow start. I'm hoping that he could kind of dial it in and become the Marky beast that we saw of stretches last year. But this team is amazing, guys. It really is. If you're not a believer by now, I don't know what you need to see. This team is getting it done on a nightly basis, and it is just phenomenal to watch. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, and I think it's here. This group with the added vets and a little bit of maturity as the seasons have gone on, it's all kind of coming together now. And I think this is the culmination of this core's, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not necessarily a graduation, but it's a big step forward. And I think a lot of it has to do with, again, the second year of Keefe. I think a lot of the things have finally kind of settled in. Everyone's getting used to everything. And the youth infusion with Gritsuk. We got Grits. We got new vets. Another year with Keefe. Jack, Brad, or Nico a year older. Another year of disappointment last season to kind of fuel that inner fire to try to push for real success, which is going to be in the playoffs. And I'm pumped, guys. I am pumped. I said a lot here. Let me know what you think about anything I said in the video. Anything, everything New Jersey Devils hockey, you just throw it out there in the comments. I enjoy talking to most of you. I'll be back soon. Tons of exciting stuff in the works. And get your tickets for Sunday and get your butt to the Rock because the building needs to be jumping. The number 1 New Jersey Devils versus the number 2 Colorado Avalanche. I'm fired up. I will be there. I'm sure I will see some of you. It's going to be a great afternoon, and I would love to see the Devils extend this to 8. What an afternoon that would be. what an afternoon it would be. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm just so physically and emotionally exhausted right now. This run has been incredible. I hope some of you are enjoying it nearly as much as I am, because this is just like the gift that keeps on giving, and I never want it to end. I love this team. I love all of you. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go down.